All right, Jim, everyone. Sensei here, like Sensei is here, and I want to do a quick breakdown of the trades I've taken on the channel. The last week or so trades I've taken on the channel, right? And also, this video is also going to be talking on something that I just coined the name for it: delayed continuation. Right, a delayed continuation concept. So I will just talk about this for like a minute, then we dive into the review. So there's something I've studied is the fact that, right, we trade the algo range method. So we have this is the weekly time frame, like this, right? This is the weekly time frame. This is slowing up a bit. This is the weekly time frame here. All right, so we can have this weekly time frame like this, and then price breaks here. Price does this, so we're buying here. When price does this as a break of structure, you would expect that this price is now bearish because of this break of structure here. Because of this as a break of structure. But it is now possible that price would now use this zone to buy, creating what is a delayed continuation. So we continue, but like as though we've broken structure, right? Let's look at Euro AUD. Let's look at Euro AUD to look at the sales. I mean, how we when we changed what's it called here on the weekly. So when price failed to take out this high, the moment this low failed to take out this high, when we close below, we had a break of structure here. If this was close to a high like this, it's possible for that change of character to not be valid. So you could have this liquidity here, and then price will come to use it and tap into it. So if price had come here and given a buy like this, it's possible for the bullishness to just resume. It's possible for the bullishness to resume, right? It's possible for that to resume. It's also for the bullishness to resume. So when you go on to tap into places like that, as you can see, we did this and tapped here. If you had a setup prior to that tap, it will most likely fail. Like this. This is the setup here. Someone sent to me and I said, price had already gone to tap into a specific zone, right? And it's better for price to start selling again for you to join the other side of the market. Because when I shared the gold trade, a lot of my students could not tell why I was buying gold when gold was giving some sort of bearish signal, some sort of bearish vibes. So you see the reason why. Now, if you look at gold here, you would see that gold gave a break of structure here. Gold did the retracement, continued. Now, what you notice is that what this low here failed to take out this high. At this point, we did not have a close, right? So this is even more stronger. And then price had come to react from this zone. This is like a delayed continuation. What it means is that it could go, we could partake in this by using our weekly range. Then price would fail to buy from somewhere here. Maybe there's no setup here or something like that. Then it fails. Then you think we're bearish, but we're not bearish because we come to tap into a, let's say it could be a support or resistance turned support like this, and then price is now going to continue that bullishness to the upside. And that's exactly what happened on gold. So to confirm this though, when we see this off the weekly, you would now want to see the daily give us a break. So when this happens, because what can happen is this, we can have something like this. That's why you have to be reacting to price, not predicting. We can have something like this, boom, and just fill that zone. Because of that, I want to see a time frame lower, which is the daily time frame, give me a break of structure. So when that happens now, I can now begin to buy, anticipating that we take out this high or something like that. I can now begin to buy, anticipating we take out that particular high. So you would now see that we can now have a break of structure here. If we go to the 4 hour time frame, then you know, price book structure, price came here. There's no buys yet, but you'd see that price is delivering properly. Price is retracing, continuing till price now give me this particular setup. So because price is retracing, continuing, mitigating zones properly, I now strongly believe that okay, this last buy is now going to work. That this buy would work. So I would now believe that this buy would work. Right, so what's wrong with my network here? Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, um, we can be able to now use that to get the continuation move to the upside. So that was why I was able to, get this particular buy on gold. It's possible for price to react from a zone and then do a continuation, but delayed continuation. And now I'm anticipating another buy here from this particular zone here. I'm anticipating going long here. Recover this low, then possibly I think we're going to break out of this zone, which makes it better. Then this is liquidity here. I can target here, or I can just go for my easy 1 to 2, which one comes first. This is easy 1 to 2 R, and everybody's happy and whatnot, right? So let's also look at AUD NZD, AUD NZD trade. I share this particular trade on my channel. I share this trade on my channel, live on my channel. So on EDNZD, we would like to understand what the price is doing. On EDNZD, let me go ahead to move drawings. So we go to the weekly time frame. There's the profile I teach. Just go to my channel or go to my Twitter, you see where I teach that. So this weekly, you can see that the weekly is breaking structure. This is our higher time frame range. So what happens is that the weekly departs from this range, never comes back to give a break of structure, but then the daily proceeds to begin to break structure and retrace, break structure, then retrace, break structure, then retrace, break structure, and retrace like that, break structure there it is. So when price came to this, so I can now begin to use the daily time frame range. When price came to discount, all I wanted to see was a break of a trend line, a counter trend line, and then I can go long from that counter trend line. And that's what I saw here. So where was the counter trend line? Like I said, before you can use a counter trend line, you need to make sure there is a trend. What is the trend? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You don't want to just pick a chart and then just assume that, oh, this thing has changed trend. Meanwhile, it has not changed yet. Meanwhile, it was not trending. It's just a random move or a consolidation like that. So I can now mark out this point here like this. So where do we have a close? I need a 4 hour close, right? So I can mark it out like this. This is where we close, and then I entered here and I shared on my Telegram. So when I entered here, I want to cover this low, and then I went on to target this particular zone here. This was how I was able to get this particular trade on AED Very straightforward trade. Now, price now proceeded to give a break of structure on the daily time frame again. So we have another daily time frame range, and that's why you saw the markings I had initially. If price gets down into discount and then gives me a break of trend line here, I now buy again to take out this high. Simple as that, as simple as that. And of course, that was almost the same idea on AED CHF. Then, of course, I touched on US oil. And yeah, US oil is kind of like back. This minus 6%. I did not execute that trade, but if I did, I might have to have exited at break even right now. I might have to just exit at break even if I had taken that trade. Why is my network being slow this evening? Why is it slow? All right, so on AEDCHF also the same thing, the daily kept breaking structures. So when price came into the discount of the daily time frame range, I have punted a long here. So price book structure, I try to cover this particular low. Even though if you cover this low properly, it works. Well, I just don't want to be on the losing side of a good trade. I speak about this a lot. You don't you have to ask yourself a serious question. Do you want to make money, or do you want to be known as a trader that trades a lot of risks to reward? Do you want to make money, or you want to be precise? Do you want to make money, or you want to, you know, brag that you have a tight stop loss? You have to choose. You cannot do all at the same time. And for me, my choice is I want to make money. I don't care how. Even if I cover this, I made money from this trade, and this trade passed one of my accounts. So do I want to pass the account, or do I want to be right? The same thing here. This is my profit target. But when price came here and price started to reject, I closed my trade. And as you can see, I would have still been holding this trade for what, Tuesday, up to Tuesday. I'll still be holding for 1 week just for this small 0 point something I closed the trade and then I rest. That's what I did on that particular trade. And then let's look at US oil. And US oil is kind of like back to entry now. I don't even know if I want to execute this anymore. It triggered here. I was not interested in the trade. I don't know if I want to execute anymore. Anyway, when we go to the weekly time frame, you see that US oil has been breaking structure on the weekly. Then we departed from the weekly time frame. We now proceeded to the, what's it called now? We now proceeded to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, our goal is to what? This is where we have like a break here. So our goal is to do let me find this here. Okay, this is where we had the break. We broke. So price is supposed to come to take out this particular high here. Now, in coming to take out this high here, we want to see a 4-hour break of structure, sweep of liquidity, and those type of things here, which happened here. This is 4-hour break of structure. This swept this liquidity, kept this inducement here. Then we're looking for buys to the upside. And then this is the buys here that I took here and shared US oil. However, I did not take this trade for technical or fundamental issues. And while I decided to take trades now without looking at fundamental, if you look at this trade, the ceasefire was here. This is the new week, and just a lot of things happening with oil. I don't know if I want to take this trade from this zone right now. And I think that's been the trades. Of course, GBP and GBP is just a simple trend line. Price was making lower lows, lower highs on the daily time frame after we departed from the weekly range. When we broke out, and also this trend line breakout in discount of the daily time frame. 4-hour break of structure here, trend line retest here, and boom, I'm long, targeting this high. So most time, trend line liquidity are good targets for price. Trend line liquidity are great targets for price. I want this video to be really short, so let's just keep it at this. Just 13 minutes is okay. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. So you say out here. Thank you for watching.